Hey, what's going on, guys? It is TemperAlliance, and in this video I want to talk about E3 because E3 is just over for us anyway. For them it's still going on. They still have a whole week, but for the live stream it was over, so it's all over. E3 is gone for another year, and you know, a lot of great games was announced, but I won't be able to mention all of them or mention any of them because I would like to talk about them in a different video, because I don't want this video to be a little bit too long. And before E3 we had X Games, so you know, a lot of great stuff was going on, and for me as well, we have the World Cup for you know, football players, which this month is absolutely insane. So we have a lot of good stuff, but I'm just going to be talking about X Games and E3 in this video because you know, it's based on games. But before I kick this off, I would like to apologize for not uploading lately. The reason for that was because I was so stuck in these live streams that I didn't have time to make a video, and you know, I really wanted to watch E3. And you know, that took, you know, they were doing it for days, so you know, so that's pretty much the reason why I wasn't able to upload lately. I should have told you before I even did it, but it kind of came out of nowhere because I kind of forgot it was on, and then I realized it was on like on the day it was on, so I was like, oh crap, it's on this day, so I went to quickly watch it and I never got time to make a video based on it. So anyway, but before I talk about E3, let's talk about the X Games. So the X Games, it was really good. It was a really good live stream. They had a lot of days. I don't know who won it because I never got to watch the end of it. But they pretty much had Optic, FaZe Red, Envy, and you know, Team Caliber. So you know, all those high up team YouTubers went to go play some Call of Duty Ghost in this tournament, I think it was, to win this like gold medal. I think it was the official X Games gold medal. So that was pretty cool as well. It was a few days on that, and I kind of found it unusual because X Games is based on extreme sports, so pretty much people on BMXs, you know, motorbikes, skateboarding, you know, and they do all these extreme stunts, and they're basically like risking their lives. You know, they could die, you know, doing what they're doing, and you know, it's just insane. And then they just have, you know, so people, you know, risking their lives, doing backflips and all that, doing all these extreme stunts there, and then we have people playing a video game on Call of Duty Ghosts. So it's kind of unusual to me because, let's be honest here, Call of Duty Ghosts is not a sport, and the X Games is all based on sport. So you know, so having all that and then just the video game, it's a little bit unusual, and it's the first year that they ever had a video game in their booth. So it's really exciting as well. So you know, they would like to change it up a bit. So I really actually enjoyed the live stream. The live stream was pretty cool. I think it is recorded, so if you missed it, you can go and check it out. It was honestly a very fun, and they did it in different days, so you know, they didn't really have time to do all in one day, which was pretty cool as well. And then we have E3. So after the X Games, we had E3. When we had Xbox, we had EA, we had Ubisoft. We had live stream based on Battlefield Hardline. We had PlayStation, and then we had Nintendo on the day after in the morning. Well, at their time, it was like 5 p.m. at my time. So yeah, so sadly I wasn't able to go to E3, but I was happy enough to watch the live stream, which was honestly very good. And also they had an Evolve tournament, which was very good as well. So first of all, first up it was Xbox. So Xbox went first, and it was very exciting because before they kicked off showing any games, they said all of their press conference is based on games, which was very exciting because you know, like last year and the year before, like they pretty much took most of it up on entertainment stuff. You know, we're introducing Twitch in our system, we're putting YouTube in, you can watch your YouTube videos on Xbox, and you know, you can rent movies and all that stuff. And you know, to be honest, that wasn't really exciting for me in my personal opinion, because I can basically do that on a PC. I can go on YouTube on a PC, I can go on Twitch on a PC. If I want to watch movies, I'll put on my DVD player, I'll watch a DVD, or you know, it's great to rent movies on Xbox, but it's not very exciting. And you know, Skype and all that, you know, I have all this on the PC, so that stuff on Xbox wasn't really needed. And for them to mention all those stuff, which was pretty exciting as well, You know, don't get me wrong, it is very, very exciting, but you know, it's not based on games. But you know, it is very exciting though. But you know, I'm not really interested in that kind of stuff. I'm interested in the game. So for them to mention everything based on games for the whole press conference was very, very exciting, and they announced a lot of games, which I will mention in a different video. So Xbox went first. Next up, it was EA, and they mentioned, you know, all the other games, you know, NFL, FIFA, you know, all those games that will be coming out like every year for sports. And yeah, it wasn't really like those press conferences isn't really as long. I missed the start of it though, so I don't know what games they even announced at the start. Because when I went to watch E3, you know, since I had an Xbox One, you know, you can just download their app on the Xbox and you can watch the live stream from there. And I thought I was only able to watch the Xbox side of things when I found another live stream on Twitch where they showed EA and all those other stuff that I had mentioned at the start of this video. So I kind of missed the start of the EA press conference, but the other games, you know, they didn't really mention much, and it wasn't really as long anyway. So yeah, so that was very good as well. And then after that, we had the live stream of Battlefield Hardline, which was pretty insane because they were on top of a building with 16 players standing behind them, ready to play the game. And to top off all of that insanity, they had a helicopter flying around them, recording them from above, which was pretty insane. Even though we didn't really had, you know, like we didn't really see him much when the camera was faced on a helicopter. So pretty much that wasn't really needed. But that was pretty insane having a helicopter flying around them. It was honestly insane. I think that was the best part of E3 of the live streams because it was honestly insane. They were on top of a very high building, and you know, they were, you know, showing Battlefield Hardline with players, you know, getting ready to play it, which was insane. So I thought that was the best part of all, out of everything out of E3, which was very, very good as well. And then after that, we had what was it? We had Ubisoft, and it was the same as EA. They didn't really announce much games. They announced my favorite game, which was The Crew, and I really like racing games. I'm a big fan of racing games, so I was very happy that they announced that. They announced it last year as well, but they only showed, you know, a trailer of it. They didn't show official gameplay like they did, so that was very exciting as well. But I'll talk about the rest of it in another video. And you know, they had other games. They had a fitness game, and they had a dancing game, and you know, like they already announced it at the Xbox press conference, but they also announced it at the Ubisoft press conference as well. I think it's a different dance games. It was just going to be released on the same time. So that is exciting as well. They have phones linked up to it, so you can dance with a phone, I'm guessing. I didn't really follow everything on that, but nonetheless, it was all exciting. And they have another Tom Clancy game, so it was very good. So you have two Tom Clancy games. So then after Ubisoft, we had PlayStation, and PlayStation, they always make it serious in a way, you know. They always make it very professional, you know. It's very good. You know, they have a lot of big screens behind them, little screens, and it was huge. The place was huge. It was the same as Xbox as well, but the PlayStation was a bit bigger. Well, it looked bigger anyway. And for me, it was on at late time. It was on at 2 a.m. in the morning where I was, which is in Ireland. But at their time, it was 9 p.m. So at their time, it wasn't too bad. But at my time, it was very bad. But I stayed up watching it because they announced really good games. You know, they you know, for every year they always have it based on games, which is very good as well. But then at the end, they talk about CPUs and they talk about entertainment systems as well, which isn't really, you know, different to Xbox. But at the end, you know, they just do everything at the end, and they just talk about you know, the PlayStation Vita, which it was very good as well. And you know, they had a girl, which I have to mention for Big Planet 3. They had a girl that was kept on screwing up the game, unfortunately, and pretty much she had a character called Oddsock, and she couldn't jump up the walls because her character was able to jump up walls. Apparently she couldn't do it after a few tries, and then on her final try she was obviously able to do it. And then she kept on walking into walls while the rest of them was just waltzing around trying to get to the other part. And she sadly couldn't do it in time, and Well, like she managed to play all to play through all of it, but she just kept on screwing up, and it was very funny. I literally couldn't stop laughing because I don't know. I just found it very funny, even though it was probably a bit mean because she probably felt a little bit embarrassed, but she was laughing along as well, so it wasn't really too bad. So that was the PlayStation side of things, and then at the very end, the next day, we had Nintendo, and Nintendo was a bit odd because it was basically all recorded, and they had, you know, a lot of, you know, Korean people. I think they were. I don't really watch Nintendo stuff, so I wouldn't really know. But then, you know, they had a lot of translators like they would normally do every year, and it was a bit odd because, you know, like last year I didn't watch it, but I believe they were actually in a booth. You know, they had their own room, and you know, the lead, which I forgot his name, well, like my apologies, he came out and he brought a translator with him. So every time, so like he could speak English, but he's just a little bit too slow speaking English, so he just brought out a translator so he can, like, you know, talk what he wants to say in his own language, and then the translator will just translate everything that he's saying. So that was very good as well. You know, they announced a lot of games for the Wii U, which can only be on the Wii U, so that was very good as well. There were some games that I thought a bit unusual. I never thought that they would release, which was very good, good as well. It had my attention. It didn't have every single my attention because there were some games I just wasn't really looking forward to, but nevertheless, it was a very good press conference, even though they weren't actually there. It was just all recorded. But yeah, but it makes no difference. But they were actually at E3. They were actually there, but they just decided to record everything anyway. I don't know. Maybe they thought it was just better to do. And then after that, they had a tournament. But there was an Evolve tournament first, which would take place days after days, and it was pretty much showball against Plain or something like that. So they had a tournament. They were supposed to finish up yesterday, but they had no time because the game was a little bit too long and they just ran out of time. So they have to continue with today, and which will be the final game. So the live stream won't be too long, but I probably won't watch it because I don't know. I'm just not, you know, following it as I want to. And then after that, we had the tournament for Nintendo, which was Super Smash Bros. So they're releasing a Super Smash Bros. Game, another one, and they got the designer to come out and talk about it. You know, obviously, you know, he couldn't. He was basically the same type of person. You know, he can speak English. He's just too slow. So he just brought out a translator just so that he can speak in his own language. The translator would just translate, and then we had a lot of people just playing the game to win the tournament. So there could only be one player out of 16 people. So yeah, and that was surprisingly good. I really enjoyed it. And then they brought out celebrities to come out and play just for one game, and then we continued on with the tournament, and well, they continued on with the tournament, and it was very exciting. I really enjoyed watching it. It was like me and a friend watching it. We were there laughing away to it. It was honestly very, very exciting, and the winner we thought was a bit unusual. You know, unfortunately, he didn't have many fans cheering for him, which was a little bit mean, and you know, it was just a little bit unpleasant. But we heard a lot of cheering, but yet again we heard a lot of booing when we found out that the winner wasn't really their favorite person, which again which is very unfortunate. But you can't win everybody, so you know, fair enough. But it was nice for him to have a good few fans. But then again, a good few people started booing him because, I don't know, they just didn't like him in a way or something like that, which was very unfortunate. Maybe because he had a scarf around him, I don't know. But anyway, guys, that was pretty much all of E3. I'll mention the games in another video because, you know, I don't want to make this video too long. So there we go. I mentioned X Games and E3. I'll mention all the games in another video. So guys, tune in on this channel. So if you're new, subscribe because I'll be talking a lot of games. So on this channel, E3 won't end in a while because there is a lot of games to talk about, and yeah, so a lot of stuff like that will be coming your way, guys. So stay tuned on this channel, and that is pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.